I was sold to a man that I knew as Louis Valou, and I feel okay using the name because I'm pretty sure it's a pseudonym. I very much doubt it's his legal name, but this guy named Louis Valou was essentially part of organized crime in Lower Manhattan in Chinatown, and he was one of my handlers growing up, and I had a very intense relationship with him on many levels. There was a period where he was grooming me essentially to take his position, and
in the mafia then?
Essentially, I mean, I'm not totally clear on the details, but it's some aspect of the mafia or organized crime, and I had to do a lot of physical violence towards other children as part of his initiations, and some of that culminated in public death matches, cage matches with other children in Chinatown for paying audiences.
How would an audience, I mean, this must all be inside the network. I can't imagine that there'd be something like that anybody could ever figure out, and it's happening right downtown.
I'm imagining the invitations were very exclusive, yeah. I strongly doubt any random people would find out about it.
And what kind of places would this even happen in?
All sorts of venues.
Really?
I mean, to be honest, I was often drugged and blindfolded and taken to these places, so it's often hard to say where exactly they are. I know some of them are in wealthy enclaves outside the city, like in Westchester County, upstate a little bit. I was taken to places like that. But then there are also versions of it that happen right in Chinatown, just in basements in Chinatown, which is, it seems like just some sort of racist fantasy that someone would have, but it really does happen there.
And the idea that you would want to go and see two children fight to the death, that it could only be network, where the people that are really in it and believe in it, they don't even see a child in a child. They don't even see what a child is. They just see creatures that are below them or something.
That's true. Yeah, like cock matches, like animals fighting, pretty much like that.
Except more exclusive.
More exclusive, more expensive. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you did tell me that you saw some prominent people present at some of these.
I did.
Events.
Yeah. There different politicians would show up sometimes, actors would show up sometimes, and a lot of the really wealthy people who are anonymous would show up, of course. And some of them, I still don't know their names, but people in positions of power within the cult. I've been thinking through, different names and if I want to name people and
totally fine. And we can cut it out if you change your mind. Also, that's okay. No problem. But also, let's just let me ask you: is it like when we're talking about levels, right? Is it like on the local level? Is it on the state level? Is it on the national level? Is it on the international level?
It's on every level. Yeah. I think I saw people who I didn't necessarily know, but I understood them to be prominent people of other countries, international politicians and leaders, definitely. There are Catholics who participate in this practice.
You mean clergy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were Jesuits specifically. Many different kinds of. There were officials from abroad. There. Some of my ancestry is Hungarian, and there were people who I understood to be some basically high-ranking Hungarian politicians who would be there, who were particularly interested in my career as a fighter, apparently. There seems to be a very established practice of these kinds of things. I almost died several times,
of course.
Naturally.
Of course, yeah.
Had my scalp ripped off of my head almost entirely and had to recover from that.
You mean you have weapons?
Usually not, but people are always sneaking things in, little blades or poisons or, of course, even if you place restrictions on it, people are going to find ways around it. So, I was taken by surprise quite often. I'm just glad I'm still alive. Louis was very fond of needles, and he was an expert in manipulating these very small needles that could basically be hidden sort of under a fingernail usually, that could be very deadly. So there were quite a few weapons, but they were concealed.